Alright guys, hey, welcome back. It's Aiden here at Game Addict Central. Alright, want to thank you guys for joining me once again. And today we're going to go over something due to the fact that I was inspired by this Season of Love event month going on. I wanted to explain about couples and also wanted to explain about weddings. Now, I know a lot of you have dealt with this before, and then for those of you who are new, you don't have a clue. So let's make it so that everybody has the opportunity to learn how things work, and so that way everybody can participate in it. Okay, so say you find somebody that you've been dancing with a lot lately, and you communicate and you get along with them great. And well, say you're newer to the game, you don't have a couple, neither do they. What you would have to do in order for that to work is simply you'd have to right click on the character, and then there would be a drop down menu. Now, when you do that, there will be an option that'll say, like lover, and that option there is what actually triggers the event. Now, when you do that, it'll send them a message that'll pop up over here, and it's awesome when you both think, hey, why not? We've already been dancing a lot, we've already been enjoying each other's company. Well, why don't we just see where this may or may not go? Thing about the coupling though. All right, a lot of times you're going to find it that it's typically friends. Friends are going to be the ones who typically will couple with each other, mostly due to the fact that they want to avoid people harassing them. Because that has happened. As much as I don't want to say that, that has happened. Even on some of my female characters that I've played on, I've had that happen where people will just constantly spam that, and I would say don't do that. That is a very negative way to try to get somebody to be in a relationship with you. So what you want to do for that, as far as this goes, is you go to that drop down menu, you'll click on it, it'll send them a message. Now they have the option to accept or decline. Assuming they accept, now you're in what they call a couple. Now, this is basically the simple terms as much as a boyfriend, girlfriend, or friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, however the relationship works. And what that's going to do is that'll open up a new tab here in your profile, which will be couple. Now, as you can see with mine, because I've actually already married another character in the game here, is I actually have a few different things here that you won't see. Now, normally just in couple mode, just when you are in a couple, you'll have the option to send a kiss to them, which only triggers when they are online, which can only be used when they're online. And as long as they're online, it'll send it to them. It'll pop up like a little heart it'll come up out in the middle of your screen. So it's like, oh, hey, they're on. Cool. It's kind of one of those things. If you don't happen to pay attention, then you'll be able to see that. So there's things you can do daily, which will raise sweetness. Sweetness and affinity, they have their own features to the game. But what you're doing basically is you have 5 dances every day, 2 kisses that you can send to them, and you have the paired actions. That's 2 every day. Now, what you'll see is that when you complete them, you'll get the check marks next to them. If you haven't completed them, you'll see that there's no check mark in the box next to it, and it'll also show like a +2 whatever. In this case, it'll be to sweetness. By accomplishing this, it gives you this much to each thing. All right, so you can also set up like what it is you tell them, what it is that makes it so that you two have decided that you want to be, what is it that that you like about each other. That's usually what the most important thing is. Something else to think about though. I would avoid necessarily rushing into coupling and start with something as simple as maybe close friend. Now, close friends are actually a lot different in the fact that it doesn't require anything special. You can have up to 2 or 3. Looks like you have 3. You can have up to 3 close friends for free. That doesn't cost you anything. Anything after that will cost, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 3,000 RC, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. Dancing with once you've basically danced with somebody the minimum of 20 times, or In a drop-down menu, you'll see where you had the lover and options like that. You'll see some, I'll say like flowers. You can send flowers to raise your intimacy with the person. Basically, it's just how close to the person you are. The higher, obviously, the closer. The more you've danced together, the more you've communicated with each other, and so on and so forth. Close friends have an advantage, though, because you can unlock special things. You can unlock items based on how many times you can. 3 times a day, you can dance with your close friend to increase the intimacy, which will also raise your bubble count, which you can use. Then those will be located in your bag when you start doing that. You raise your cohesion with them, which increases the different types of rewards you can get. But you also get the level up rewards based on the more you get here, the more things you can unlock. So when you decide to have a close friend with somebody, absolutely great chance to unlock some things. It's a great chance to really get to know people. And that can generally, like I said, we'll go ahead and connect this back. It'll lead back into where you might become a couple with the person. And then you also have the opportunity from there that you can marry them. Now, I wanted to do a separate video for this, so this one might be a little longer. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and put all these videos together. Once you marry somebody, you actually get a couple of options here. Once you do that, again, same thing. It'll say, but you both have to have a token of affection, is what they call it here. And basically, it's a ring. Both characters need a ring. Now, if you're playing free to play, chances are good you won't get a ring, because the rings do cost 1,000 RC or CR. I mean, you could possibly do it if you can like win some CR through one of the events or something like that. It is possible to actually be able to get a ring as a free to play, or if you say have another character that you've spent money on and you're starting an alternate character for whatever reason, you can send them the gift. Works just fine. But you and the person you wanting to marry have to have a. You don't even have to be a couple, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe you even have to be a couple so much. But as long as you're not already married to somebody, you can do this. But maybe I'm wrong. You might actually have to be a couple. Now, if you guys decide to say, okay, I want to go ahead and all right, I've danced with this person a lot. We've either become close friends, or that maybe we've got some interest in each other. But now, because I want to marry them, what you're doing is you're saying, all right, I'm going to dedicate a specific amount of time each day, whether it's in game and out of game or just in game, that I want to speak with someone, that I want to spend time with this person. Basically, that's what you're doing. And in a lot of ways, this step can individually and consensually build a relationship, because typically you're going to speak at least outside of the game, and so that's going to be something. Let him know we're recording. So yeah, this is my friend Mark. This will be a great opportunity to show you those menus real quick. See, like you have this, you have the invite, private chat, flowers, so like close friends if you want to be a close friend. If he wasn't in a couple and I wasn't in a couple, you could have you have the option for lover, which will start the couple, or proposal to start the marriage. You can also, if you're a host, you have some other options and things like that. So things you can. So that's just a simple, real brief video on that. We're gonna go ahead and just continue the video. We're just gonna go ahead and give you the full rundown on the wedding aspect too. All right, weddings. Like I said, you both need to have RC, or you both need to at least have rings. Typically, people will not accept a wedding from somebody unless they are at least a VIP 1. That's typically a common thing, which that's not really terrible. It's like $2. If you're in the US, it's like $2, something like that. And so that's to top up. I'm not going to go into that. We might have to make a separate video all for that. We'll see what I can do to make that happen. So you have these different things that'll pop up once you get married, which you have the option to spend 5,000 credits for a basic wedding, 3,000 credits for a beach wedding, or 10,000. It's 5,000 RC, or and then it's 10,000 RC for the chapel. I have not seen the beach wedding. I have seen a normal wedding, and I have seen the chapel. I loved the chapel one. That was my favorite one by far. Um, so the beach, I'm not sure. Probably be just as neat. Um, but anyway, if you decide that you don't even have the credits or anything, you don't even have to do the wedding, if you will, right away. You can then wait, like I ended up having to wait because I didn't happen to have topped up at the time. And you could do it as an anniversary wedding, which, let me see, when I pull this up. All right, so there it is. There's the menu. So it shows you got the normal wedding here for 5,000 credits, the beach wedding for 5,000 RCs, and the chapel wedding for 10,000 RCs. All right, so even if you don't happen to have made it, if you don't happen to have the resources to do the wedding immediately, don't worry, don't panic. Talk it through with your couple and let them know, that there's some things come up that you're not able to right away. Typically, if they're really good people, they'll work with you. I mean, that's just one of those things. They'll work with you. What you saw me there was collect some hearts from the Tree of Love, as they call it. That's stuff you can acquire. You'll have missions here daily that you'll need to fulfill to interact, and you'll get more of these. And those things will unlock boosted sweetness, and you can get crystals of love, things like that. That's also from the badge missions. But let's go down to the next tab. All right, you have the rings here. Pardon me. Rings are the different things that will pop up right here next to your name. And once you've gotten married, you'll have to see the ring. And as you upgrade your ring, which you can see that here, and then it'll tell you what requirements you need to upgrade it. And so once you've acquired the necessary things, you can upgrade the ring. Ring upgrading simply is showing that you're dedicated to the missions. You guys are working together. You're putting in a team effort to do the missions, the wedding missions, couple missions. All right, so you have the ring, and as you upgrade them, you'll unlock different rings, and different rings. Once you and your partner have reached the same level in the rings, you will get different effects that spiral around your character when they're near you. And there's some other things. I haven't gone very far in this. I don't know what all of the other features are with that, but that's something so far that I can tell you. The anniversary stuff, you can put like when the wedding anniversary is, for those of you like me who tend to forget things that are super important in life. You can put like your birthday, their birthday, anniversary wedding, like when you've held an anniversary wedding. You can always add other things. It shows you up here how many days you've been married. And obviously this is where you will be able to do another anniversary. Wedding photos. Wedding photos are cool because that allows you to put those up on, and you can view those in somebody's profile. So if you find somebody who's married and they have an option on their thing for wedding photos, typically you will see some wedding photos. Wedding photos are really cool because you can do different things. They do cost it does cost money. You have to invest in the game a little bit, but you can do different things, different backgrounds. You can do different borders to it. You can move the characters. You can set different poses, and then of course, if you just don't have the money to do it right now, don't do it. So something else you can do with that is we'll go back up here. You have the sweet date. Sweet dates are really, really cool because you actually benefit a lot of ways from sweet dates. You can see up here at the top how many times that you've dated. You see that you have date place, date store, and date info. This gives you the instructions on how to operate that, how date works. So if you guys were ever curious about the date mode in Touch, this is really where it comes into play. Ideally, while you're building this relationship with somebody, play through that mode a couple of times here and there, because it'll allow you to understand how the game mode works. And I should probably go ahead and make a video sometime about how that game mode, but I will have to wait on that. So the date store, like when you do a date and you complete the date, based on everybody's scoring and all this stuff, you'll get an X amount of coins. You'll get a set a number of coins based on everything. The more dates, the more coins you get, and you'll see that you get you have access to the date store here, which there's different things you have to do. Say it's like if I wanted this funky monkey, that's funny to say. I would have to have completed 10 incidents at the zoo. Well, what does that mean? All right, so then you have to come over here. Then you have to scroll around. All right, there's the zoo, and I would have had to have dated here with my partner in order to find out, you know, so many dates. You'll have so many incidents, things like that. So chances are good that in my thoughts on that, that's 10 dates at the one place. It's not entirely true. You have to complete 10. Every date, there will be so many things that happen in them. That's what these question marks are. Let me show you. All right, so look, I've done the seaside one. Like why go to seaside, like swimming, swimwear, swim today, you know, things like this, scary water creatures, things like that. Those are different things that happen during the event or during the date, and those will allow you to unlock those coins, and they also unlock the items in here, so then you can purchase those items. And there's a lot of neat items here in this shop. It's the only way to get access to these items, though. So please don't think that you can just randomly go and pick these up anywhere. You do need to do the date mode in order to get these. And in order to get credit for doing those, you do need to be, I believe, married. So that is just a real quick, brief rundown on marriage and coupling and how to do that. Guys, please feel free to let me know what you think of the video. I do know it ran a little bit longer than the other ones. I do apologize for that. But if there's anything else you needed to know, feel free to drop me a line in-game. You see what my in-game name is. Send me a message if you have any questions or anything like that. I'll be glad to help you guys. And as always, thank you for watching.